And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying, "It is done." And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before Elohiym, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Truly, throughout the centuries, she has been a mystery, and her identity concealed, that is, until now. A day in which the books have been unsealed, many go to and fro, and knowledge has been increased. Come, let us reason together, and hear the word of Yahuwah concerning Mystery Babylon, revealed. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to the revealing of the identity of the great harlot, the woman, Mystery Babylon. There are many teachings on this topic, and you may already have some preconceived ideas as to her identity. Trust me, we've seen it all too. We only ask that you keep an open mind to the information presented here and test it for yourself, as we will not be including any human wisdom or trying to make verses fit to a general understanding, but we will put together what the written word of Yahuwah says, our authority, which tells the whole story and was just waiting for these last hours for the puzzle pieces to be fit together. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names and blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. In our last video, we showed you through scripture and world history who the beast of Revelation is, whom she rides. If you have not seen it yet, we encourage you to view it now or after this video ends. A link should be flashing in the upper right corner of this video and will be in the description box below, titled Unlocked, the Beast of Revelation. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the woman which you saw is that great city, which reigns over the kings of the earth. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city, that was clothed in fine linen and in purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. Many have concluded that this must mean the Vatican, as they are dressed in purple and scarlet, and it could make sense if this verse is isolated, and we will expound on this momentarily. However, in the previous video, we showed unequivocally that the Vatican, also known as the Holy Roman Empire, is the beast of Revelation, not the great harlot who we are discussing today. So if not the Vatican, then who? According to the scriptures. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Adonai was crucified. It's crystal clear, and all agree, that Yahusha HaMashiach, our Savior, was crucified in Jerusalem, whom Isaiah himself called Sodom. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. Except Yahuwah Sabaoth had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Hear the word of Yahuwah, you rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of Yahuwah, you people of Gomorrah. How is the faithful city become a harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. Yes, Jerusalem, the mother of harlots. The world is full of the daughters of this harlot, and nearly every major city acts as Babylon. But there's only one mother. Let's look at more evidence. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones, and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all tine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men, and saying, Alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple, and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones, and pearls. Brothers and sisters, this is the fullness of her inventory. What comes next may surprise you. This list matches the contents of the temple Solomon built. Let us scan 1st and 2nd Chronicles to see it for ourselves. Now I have prepared with all my might for the house of my Elohiym the gold for the things to be made of gold, and the silver for things of silver, and the brass for the things of brass, the iron for the things of iron, and wood for the things of wood, onyx stones, and stones to be set, glistening stones, and of diverse colors, and all manner of precious stones and marble stones in abundance. The son of a woman of the daughters of Dan, and his father was a man of Tyre, skillful to work in gold, and in silver, in brass, in iron, in stone, and in timber, in purple, in blue, and in fine linen, and in crimson. Also to grave any manner of graving, to find out every device which shall be put to him with thy cunning men, and with the cunning men of my lord David thy father. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory, and overlaid it with pure gold. Also King Solomon and all the congregation of Israel that were assembled unto him before the ark sacrificed sheep and oxen, which could not be told nor numbered for multitude. And Solomon had horses brought out of Egypt, and linen yarn, the king's merchants received the linen yarn at a price. And they fetched up and brought forth out of Egypt a chariot for 600 shekels of silver, and an horse for 150. And Baalath, and all the store cities that Solomon had, and all the chariot cities, and the cities of horsemen, and all that Solomon desired to build in Jerusalem, and in Lebanon, and throughout all the land of his dominion. And Solomon numbered all the strangers that were in the land of Israel, after numbering wherewith David his father had numbered them, and they were found 150,000 and 3,600. And he set 70,000 of them to be bearers of burdens, and 80,000 to be hewers in the mountains, and 3,600 overseers to set the people a work. And for the altar of incense refined gold by weight, and gold for the pattern of the chariot of the cherubims that spread out their wings and covered the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah. Some of them also were appointed to oversee the vessels and all the instruments of the sanctuary, and the fine flour, and the wine, and the oil, and the frankincense, and the spices. And Solomon gathered chariots and horsemen, and he had 1,400 chariots, and 12,000 horsemen, which he placed in the chariots, and with the king at Jerusalem. So what does this all mean? Will there be a third temple, replicated to Solomon's temple built in Jerusalem? Probably so. And if it is, it will be an abomination in the eyes of Yahuwah. Why? Because we, not a building made by human hands, is where the Spirit of the Most High dwells. For more information on this, a link for the third temple, according to Hebrews, will be included. It's also interesting and worthy to note that there is one other mention of that great city in the book of Revelation, in an opposite context. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahusha. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them ye shall scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets and stonest them which are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. Because you have forsaken me, I also will forsake you. When you beg mercy of me, I will show you no mercy. When you call upon me, I will not listen to you, for you have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit murder. It is not as though you had forsaken me, you have forsaken yourselves, says Yahuwah. Thus says Yahuwah Almighty, have I not entreated you as a father entreats his sons, or a mother her daughters, or a nurse her children, that you should be my people, and I should be your Elohiym, and that you should be my sons, and I should be your father? I gathered you as a hen gathers her brood under her wings, but now, what shall I do to you? I will cast you from my presence. I sent to you my servants the prophets, but you have taken and slain them and torn their bodies in pieces. Their blood I will require of you, says Yahuwah. Thus says Yahuwah Almighty, your house is desolate. Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahuwah Sabaoth, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. She is empty and void and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all loins, and the faces of them all gather blackness. Where is the dwelling of the lions, and the feeding place of the young lions, where the lion, even the old lion, walked, and the lions whelp, and none made them afraid? Ezekiel prophesied about Israel concerning the last days and told the story of the great harlot. For time's sake, we have selected out verses pertaining to our study here, but I encourage you to read it all when you have time. Some of the terms used here should be recognizable by now. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face toward Jerusalem, and drop thy word toward the holy places, and prophesy against the land of Israel. And say to the land of Israel, Thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, and will draw forth my sword out of his sheath, and I will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked. And it shall be unto them as a false divination in their sight, to them that have sworn oaths, but he will call to remembrance the iniquity, that they may be taken. Therefore, thus saith Adonai Yahuwah, because ye have made your iniquity to be remembered, and that your transgressions are discovered, so that in all your doings your sins do appear. Because I say that ye are come to remembrance, ye shall be taken with a hand, and thou, profane, wicked prince of Israel, whose day is come, when iniquity shall have an end. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before Yahuwah, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Thou shalt be for fuel to the fire, thy blood shall be in the midst of the land, and thou shalt be no more remembered, for I, Yahuwah, have spoken it. Now, thou son of man, wilt thou judge the bloody city? Yea, thou shalt show her all her abominations. Then say you, Thus says Yahuwah Elohiym, the city sheds blood in the midst of it, that her time may come, and maketh idols against herself to defile herself. You have become guilty in your blood that you have shed, and have defiled yourself in idols which you have made. And you have caused your days to draw near, and have come even unto your years. Therefore have I made you a reproach unto the heathen, and a mocking to all the countries. Those that be near, and those that be far from you, shall mock you, which are infamous and much vexed. You have despised mine holy things, and have profaned my Sabbaths. Therefore thus saith Adonai Yahuwah, because ye are all become dross, behold, therefore I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to melt it. So will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall you be melted in the midst thereof, and you shall know that I, Yahuwah, have poured out my fury upon you. The word of Yahuwah came again unto me, saying, Son of man, there were 2 women, the daughters of one mother. And they committed whoredoms in Egypt. They committed whoredoms in their youth. There were their breasts pressed, and there they bruised the teats of their virginity. And the names of them were Aholah the elder, and Aholibah her sister, and they were mine, and they bare sons and daughters. Thus were their names, Samaria as Aholah, and Jerusalem Aholibah. And Aholah played the harlot when she was mine, and she doted on her lovers, the Assyrians her neighbors. Wherefore I have delivered her into the hands of her lovers, into the hand of the Assyrians, upon whom she doted. And when her sister Aholibah saw this, she was more corrupt in her inordinate love than she, and in her whoredoms more than her sister in her whoredoms. Have you ever wondered why Mystery Babylon was given a cup filled to the double? I will do these things unto you, because you have gone a-whoring after the heathen, and because you are polluted with their idols. You have walked in the way of your sister. Therefore I will give her cup into your hand. Thus says Adonai Yahuwah, you shall drink of your sister's cup, deep and large. You shall be laughed to scorn and had in derision. It contains much. You shall be filled with drunkenness and sorrow, with the cup of astonishment and desolation, with the cup of your sister Samaria. You shall even drink it and suck it out, and you shall break the sherds thereof, and pluck off your own breasts, for I have spoken it, says Adonai Yahuwah. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahuwah hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. Comfort ye, my people, saith your Elohiym. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her, that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received of Yahuwah's hand double for all her sins.
Ezekiel 36 spells out completely the plan of the enemy, to which it says Edom, also known as Idumeah, would take it over for the purpose of destroying her. Thus says Yahuwah, because the enemy hath said against you, Aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Therefore prophesy and say, Thus says Yahuwah, because they have made you desolate, and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are the infamy of the people. Therefore, thus says Yahuwah, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumeah, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. Who are these Edomites today? He answered and said unto them, Well hath Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, This people honoureth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Howbeit, in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of Yahuwah, ye hold the tradition of men, the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. Remember, brothers and sisters, all of this is Yahuwah's plan, so we are not to fear. For Yahuwah hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahuwah shall be fulfilled. While many are waiting for a third temple to be built and the Antichrist to stand in it and claim to be God, consider the same passage in the Gospel of Luke, which is overlooked by many, and truly ties into everything we are saying today. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. While the destruction of the temple happened in 70 AD, truly all things were not fulfilled then. Remember, Mystery Babylon is the abomination which will be made desolate. But not to worry. This is Abba's plan of vengeance. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Eloheinu, because ye are all become dross, behold, therefore I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it, to melt it. So will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I, Yahuwah, have poured out my fury upon you. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahuwah Elohiym who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Again, brothers and sisters, not to worry. This is all part of his plan. And the desolate land shall be tilled, whereas it lay desolate in the sight of all that passed by. And they shall say, This land that was desolate is become like the Garden of Eden, and the waste and desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and are inhabited. Then the heathen that are left round about you shall know that I, Yahuwah, build the ruined places and plant that was desolate. I, Yahuwah, have spoken it, and I will do it.
That which has been is now, and that which is to be has already been, and Yahuwah requires that which is past. The thing that has been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. When looking at scriptures alone, the evidence is overwhelming that Jerusalem is Mystery Babylon, while the United States, London, the Muslim Caliphate, the Vatican, or dozens of other candidates are all reasonable to consider. They are all just pawns in this greater game. There is only one mother, and her identity is now revealed. This brings major implications and busts wide open a large part of the great delusion in these last days. To understand what's to come next, there is a prophecy in Ezekiel 36 which spells out another part of the story that we need to understand. Otherwise, we will be absolutely confused when everything starts to go down. I pray you take 39 minutes to watch it and test it. Ezekiel 36, End Times Israel. This video was part 2 of a 3-part series for properly decoding the book of Revelation. In part 1, we unlocked the beast of Revelation. Today, in part 2, the identity of Mystery Babylon. And in part 3, the mark of the beast revealed. I pray this evidence was enough for you to take to prayer and confirm this with our Heavenly Father, whether it be true or not. And if found to be true, will you be bold enough to share? Shalom, and Yahuwah bless you and keep you. Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them.